The Explorer Extractor. This is going to go so badly. Really? Are you serious, Falcon? You're relying on the invention of a lunatic? I've never been more serious. Madame Beaumont, Frere Remus, and the members of the court, this device is called an Explorer Extractor. It's the latest medical technology. It looks like a children's toy. I assure you this is no toy. It was designed to find and extract metal embedded in bodies. A battlefield bullet finder and remover, if you will. I'm intrigued. So you're saying you could just swing that device around and it finds a bullet in a person? Yes, sort of. I don't know, we haven't had a chance to practice with it, really. Madame, these birds are playing you for a fool. There is no way that such a device exists. He's the one, isn't he? We have seen this device work with our own eyes. Sparrowson shall demonstrate. But me? Although he will need something to demonstrate it on. Use the pen? Would this work? No, I need something that represents the fired bullet. So, the bullet. Here we have an iron-tipped mini A-ball, as presented by Fontaine moments ago. Observe, I placed the bullet in my closed fist. It now represents the fired bullet that is currently embedded in the murderer's body. Allegedly. Now Sparrowson will demonstrate what happens when my hand is scanned with the Explorer Extractor device. So I just do this and... It's humming and buzzing. Is it really detecting that bullet? Absolutely. What an intriguing device. Like, what an intriguing device. Hey, what would happen if I were to hit extract right now? But please don't. You remember what happened to that steak, right? My, what is this feeling? It feels like... power! Don't let it go to your head. Okay, I'm convinced. Falcon, Sparrowson, you may perform a cursory scan of each of us with that device of yours. You must stop humouring these morons, madame. What good is this doing us? Remus, they may be morons, but that this test will grant us certainty of the rooster's fate. I can afford that time. Hey, Falcon, what will happen if the murderer is someone not present in this room? It most likely isn't. What? I'm stalling. Falcon? Get a move on, you two. I really must express my displeasure that you're going along with this fast, Madame Beaumont. Let us end this trial right here and now. You can get the justice you so crave. Don't worry, Remus. My patience for this bird brain is wearing thin too. When this asinine scheme of his fails, he will face the consequences. Lackey bird, scan the rooster first. He's the prime suspect, after all. Okay. And nothing. And nothing. I'm not getting any reaction. Means there's probably no bullet lodged in Cocorico. So, he's innocent for sure. No. All it means is the bird was not shot by the hypothetical bullet. Don't forget, this is all speculation on Falcon's part. Madam, I must insist you end this. It is a fool's errand. We have other matters we must attend to. Remus, you will let me worry about our time management. Piero, you go next. All right. Get it over with. One. No reaction means Piero wasn't shot either. No surprises there, right, guys? Let's see. Next, we shall test. Madam, I implore you. You're being awfully lippy, Remus. Why don't you go next? Me? That is really not necessary, madam. I don't want to participate in this ridiculous child's game. This is no game, and I'm issuing you an order to cooperate. I refuse. Yeah, because he was shot. Piero, please restrain Remus. With pleasure, ma'am. But what are you doing? Keep your filthy talons off me. I will not be manhandled by... Ow, stop that. You're making a mistake. Madam, think a little harder. I have an alibi. I was with you the whole evening. Sparrowson, do the test. It's going to make noises, isn't it? Falcon? I'm not getting any reaction. That can't be right. Do it again. There's nothing. Frere Remus has not been shot as far as this device can tell. The utter nerve to manhandle a man of the cloth like that. As I said on the floor, madam, I was with you and Fontaine for the entire evening. I could not possibly be in two places at once, except for the fact he has a twin. It's true. You were sitting in my line of sight exactly when the murder was supposed to have taken place. As was I. Right. Fontaine was sitting with us too, so that rules him out. I know that I didn't perform the murder, obviously, which means that every suspect has been accounted for. Go sit down, lackey. Your job is done. Okay. You realise what this means, don't you, Falcon? Your little test failed. Your hypothetical bullet theory turned out to be unsubstantiated speculation. Pure guesswork. Shall we end the trial, madam? Wait! There must be someone we're not accounting for. I just know it. There is someone else who could have been the shooter. Where is he? Romulus? Yeah, I think it's Romulus. Frere Remus, where is your brother, the man named Romulus? My brother? He was forced to flee the country by our oppressive government. You and I know that that isn't true. Your brother is still in France. In fact, I think he's lurking in these very catacombs right now. An absurd notion. Your theories are getting more and more outlandish, Falcon. Where's your evidence? Oh, I know, I can answer this one. I found this in the catacomb tunnel. An introductory guide to the cult of reason? Thank you, Sparrowson. Now, Frere Remus, does this pamphlet look familiar to you? No, I've never seen it before in my life. Are you sure? Are you sure it doesn't belong to your brother, Romulus? No, there are many cultists in Paris. Maybe it belongs to one of them. Falcon, I'll take your word that your lackey found this pamphlet in the catacombs. But Remus is right. You have no evidence the man known as Romulus is the one who dropped it. This pamphlet could have been dropped by anyone. Could even have been dragged in on the sole of Piero's shoe, for all I know. Wouldn't be the first time. Actually, madam, I know for a fact this pamphlet belonged to Romulus, and I can prove it. It's the other one, isn't it? A little while ago, while visiting the Louvre, I saw a man who looked very much like Romulus handing out pamphlets. As you can see, this pamphlet from the Louvre is identical to the pamphlet from the catacombs, except for one important detail. Romulus signed the Louvre pamphlet himself. No way, my brother wouldn't do something so foolish. Do you see? Right here on the cover page. That is Romulus's signature. I admire your tenacity, but something is blatantly wrong with your evidence. So what was it, Silvius? We know that the brother of Remus is named Romulus, but this Louvre pamphlet of yours is signed Silvius. Clearly an alias. Romulus is on the run from the police, so he must have changed his identity. That's a plausible theory, but it's unsubstantiated. How do we know this pamphlet was signed by Remus's brother? The pen. This fountain pen. Hey, where did you get that? Is it my brother's or mine? Wow, Remus, your mouth is almost as big as Romulus's. Anyway, I believe it's yours. Sparrowson happened to find this pen in your robes just a few days ago. You mean he stole it? Let's not argue over semantics. What's important, and what you just admitted, is that you and your brother both owned pens just like this one. See, these pens are unique in that they contain green ink, a very unusual choice of ink colour. Very evil choice, too. Well, yes, but more importantly, it's the same ink that was used on this signed pamphlet. Since there are only two pens, there are only two possibilities. Either Frere Remus has been signing off on atheist cultist propaganda. I would never do such a thing. Or his brother has been using his identical pen to sign cultist propaganda, the same type that has been found in these catacombs. Impossible. My clumsy oaf of a brother lost his pen a week ago. Oh, so the only explanation is that you lent him your own. No, you see. It doesn't matter how you cut it, Friar. One way or another, you and your brother are tied to the cultist pamphlet. Admit it. Confess. Falcon, enough. You've made your point. You're asserting the friar's pen ties him to the cultist pamphlet. I get it. This is all tenuous, wouldn't you say, madam? No question. Falcon has suggested a theory that hinges upon a theory that hinges upon yet another theory. It's not hard proof by any measure. He may very well be wrong, but at least he's logical. His theory is self-consistent. But what are you saying, madam? Falcon, where did you say you found this leaflet? The unsigned one, that is. Down the catacombs tunnel, through the fork on the left-hand side. Fontaine, Piero, go see if you can find anyone dawdling where they shouldn't be. Yes, madam. Yes, ma'am. Now to wait. Yes. I'm gonna save you, Severin. I hope. I wonder if you can, fail these missions, fail any of these cases. You should be able to, if you, waste everyone's time, but eventually you'll pick up the right way, I would assume. In a moment, one of two things will happen. Either Pierre and Fontaine will return empty-handed, in which case I'll have no choice but to execute Cocorico. Uh-oh. I'm sorry. And then I would have to execute you, Falcon, and you, Sparrison. Us? Not because of what you've seen tonight, although that's admittedly a problem, but because your lies would be treasonous to our new republic. I didn't sign up for this. Or Pierre and Fontaine will return with a prisoner in tow, in which case we'd be free to cut Cocorico down and skedaddle. Surely not, madam. You're not going to let these three just walk free after everything that's happened here. Remember what this rooster did to your father? Hold your tongue, Friar. It turns out you've been deceiving me all this time. Beaufort, Mort, look who we found. Ow, ow, stop shoving me. I can walk myself. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Well, well, we really do have a ghost in the catacombs. Introduce yourself, Wolf. Very well, mademoiselle. My name... Madam. Right, madam, whatever. My name is Silvius. Don't you mean Romulus? That alias didn't fool anyone, Your Honor. All right, all right. I am Romulus, twin brother of Remus, and loyal servant to the rebel cause. That is the whole truth. He's telling the truth, madam. Of course you'd say that. Long live the Second Republic. Right, guys? I have a lot of questions, both for you, Romulus, and for you, Remus. I don't appreciate being lied to. Seems you have your hands full, so we'll just be taking our leave. Not so fast, Falcon. Your theory is still unproven. If it turns out that Romulus has no bullets in him, you'd have no evidence that implicates him of the Croque Monsieur's murder. Cocorico would still be the prime suspect. But bullet in me? Ha! Ha ha ha! What are you guys on about? Spare me. Fontaine, hold him down. Hold me down? Ow! Ow, 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 ow. Sparrison, do your test. I'm on it! It's buzzing. It's really buzzing around his shoulder. I see blood. There's definitely a bullet wound there. That's an old bullet. An old war wound. I got it fighting in Algeria in '36. Obviously a desperate lie. My brother is being completely honest, madam. He's a veteran. He was shot in battle. You know, I could just extract the bullet right here and now. That would remove all doubt. No, don't do it. Don't do that, Sparrison. It'd be needlessly cruel. Think about what that device did to that poor chunk of steak. Ah! Whoops, my finger slipped. Oh, hey, look at that. If I'm not mistaken, this is one of them newfangled bullets, right, Fontaine? There's no mistake. There's an iron-tipped Minier ball, just like the one in the Croque Monsieur's gun. Do you realize what this means, madam? Clearly demonstrates that Romulus confronted the Croque Monsieur before Cocorico arrived. This is undeniable evidence that Cocorico had nothing to do with the crocodile's death. You're right. I made a mistake. I haven't forgotten what the rooster did to my father, but this bird clearly had no part in the killing of the Croque Monsieur. Therefore, I cannot honestly call him an enemy of the Second Republic. Your friend is free to go. Fontaine, cut the rooster down. Right away, madam. Thank you, madam. For what? For giving us an opportunity to show you what justice looks like. Before, you asked what the difference is between revenge and justice, and I replied rationality. Well, I can see how much effort it must have been to hold back your emotions and let rationality dictate your actions. Pierre and Fontaine will help carry your friend to the tunnel entrance. We're on it, madam. Will you be okay by yourself with the two wolves? These toothless old dogs, I think I'll manage. Of course. Come on, brother, to your feet. So, cultists. Cultist is such a strong word. Listen, mademoiselle. Don't mademoiselle me. I shall be asking the questions here. Tell me, friar, are you a cultist too? Madam, I am just a humble servant of God. Ugh, I never realized how poisonous your words are. You've been spewing lies since the very start, haven't you? Madam. At least tell me why you two killed the Croque Monsieur. Because Allow me, brother. You want to know the truth. We want exactly the same thing as you. We want a world without class. And yet you wear a top hat. That's a very classy hat. A world without false rulers and gods. A world where only the reason of man reigns. A world of true equality and fairness. That is what you strive for, no? But you cannot achieve such a goal without violence. Your methods are too passive, too naive. So he set up a situation where you would be forced into action. Make the government look like murderers to the rebels, and make the rebels look like murderers to the government. Then you would be forced to take up arms. Another lie. But that was the truth. You claimed you wanted equality, but you just want a world where you stand above everyone else, a world where carnivores reign. You're a rabid animal at heart. Heh, you got me. But can you honestly say you never wanted power yourself? You're a carnivore too. Don't deny it. No, I never wanted power. All I've ever wanted is a world where no child has to grow up without a father. Did you know the croque-monsieur was something of a family man? He once confided in me that he had 5 children and a late wife. Uh-oh. I had no idea. Tell me, Romulus, do you have children? Me? Pfft, no. Mademoiselle, I... Bang. That was obvious. But, brother? As for you, Friar, get out of here. You aren't going to kill me? I ought to. You're the worst kind of person, a man who'll cling to an ideology to claw his way higher. But I know that you weren't the one to pull the trigger on the croque-monsieur. Maybe there's a slither of goodness left in you. Go. Go on. Is this what justice looks like? It's so uncaring. That doesn't sound friendly. Let's continue. Depending on how long it takes, I might be able to get all the way through Act 4 as well, which I think might be the last one. Maybe. Oh man. You kicked so much derriere at that impromptu trial yesterday. Those rebels were all like, we're executing this punk mob justice, rah rah rah. But you were all like, this isn't how we do things in France, chicken. Yeah. And then we were all like, Sparrowson, let's get serious for a moment. Serious? You just pulled off the craziest lawyering move in the history of French law. We should be celebrating. We don't have time to pull out the champagne. Didn't you see the anger in the rebels' eyes? Didn't you feel the tension in the air? We're just days away from violence breaking out onto the streets. Yeah, I guess another revolution might be around the corner. But what exactly can we do? We already told the police everything we know. Unless... You're not thinking of arming yourself to the teeth and fighting the rebel forces yourself, are you? What? No! You watch far too many action operas. I was thinking of preparing a legal case. A case? For whom? At their core, all historical revolutions center on trials. A nation's rulers are tried and held accountable for their crimes. But you saw the horrendous trial that took place last night. Nobody cares about due process when emotions are running high. Regardless of the outcome of the revolution, we need to make sure that everyone has an equal opportunity for justice. That makes sense. So what's the plan? We head to Quinnell's tavern and hand out some business cards? Think bigger. Who will the rebels target? The... King? Exactly. To the Palais Royal! Act 4B. 4B? Or not 4B? Well, clearly it's 4B. That is the answer. And... Okay, so... How do you... Is it based on the choices I've made in the past? Or the things I've done in the past? Because I don't know what I could have done differently. Maybe it's like if you fail one of the previous ones, it changes which one you get or something. I don't know. Like, because have there been... Well, there's been some choices I've had to make, so maybe there's something there. Right.